This is me, July 29th, 2008. It is 12:33, Mountain Time.
Susan Powell sat in front of a camera in her Utah home on July 29, 2008. The time was 12:33 a.m., and she looked into the lens with a solemn expression. The video, made at her attorney's advice, was meant to protect her belongings, but in hindsight, it became a chilling piece of evidence. Not long after, Susan vanished without a trace. Her husband, Josh Powell, claimed she had stayed home while he took their young sons, Charlie and Braden, on a late-night camping trip, despite a raging blizzard. The next morning, when Susan failed to show up for work and the boys were not dropped off at daycare, her family and friends reported her missing. A search of the Powell home revealed no signs of a struggle, yet suspicion quickly fell on Josh. Investigators uncovered troubling details: financial issues, marital strife, and a pattern of controlling behavior. Inside Susan's safe deposit box, police found a handwritten will in which she warned, "If I die, it may not be an accident." Just weeks before her disappearance, Josh had taken out a $1 million life insurance policy on her. Days after Susan was reported missing, Josh withdrew large sums from his retirement accounts. Yet despite mounting evidence and public suspicion, no charges were filed. Police attempted to interview Charlie and Braden, but their statements were unreliable. At one point, they mentioned that their mother had gone on the trip with them, only to contradict themselves with bizarre claims, such as arriving at the campsite by airplane. As the case stalled, Josh moved with his sons to Washington, but authorities determined the boys were not safe with him. During the investigation, Josh lost custody of them and they were placed with Susan's parents. Then, on February 5th, 2012, a horrific act confirmed everyone's worst fears. A state caseworker brought Charlie and Braden to Josh's home for a supervised visit. As soon as they entered, he slammed the door, locking the social worker outside. Moments later, he doused the house in gasoline and set it ablaze, killing himself and his sons in the fire. In the aftermath, police turned their attention to Josh's brother and father, suspecting they had played a role in Susan's disappearance. Investigators found strong evidence that Josh's brother, Michael, had helped conceal her body. But the case hit another dead end when Michael took his own life in 2013. More than a decade later, Susan's father continues the search, following every lead, including reports of possible burial sites and abandoned Utah mines. Each hope ends in disappointment. In 2023, a court ruled in favor of Susan's father, awarding him nearly $100 million in a lawsuit against Washington State for failing to protect his grandsons. He donated much of the settlement to charities supporting domestic violence survivors.
Who's knocking on my teeth?
May 11th, 2011. Just another morning. Timothy wakes up, unaware of the turn his day will take. Like any other weekday, his father drives him to school in Illinois, a routine commute. Then something unexpected. His mother arrives, signing him out early. Security footage later confirms this. Nothing unusual, just a mother collecting her son. What follows is a 3-day adventure. Parks, attractions, a mother and son on the road. They visit amusement parks, laugh on roller coasters, splash in water parks, and stay in hotels along the way. That afternoon, his father arrives at school, expecting Timothy as usual, but his son never comes. Panic sets in, calls are made, an investigation is launched. On May 13th, his mother calls family. She says Timothy is safe, that they're simply on a short trip, nothing to worry about. In the background of one of these calls, Timothy's voice can be heard faintly. "I'm hungry." The call's location is traced near Route 40. That evening, tragedy strikes. Timothy's mother is found in a hotel room in Rockford, gone by her own hand. A note left behind apologizes for the mess she has made. It states that Timothy will never be found but is safe and in the hands of people who will care for him. Investigators begin piecing together the events leading up to this moment. Surveillance footage shows Timothy and his mother at various locations: hotels, bus stations, corner stores. The last confirmed sighting of Timothy is in a hotel lobby, fidgeting and playing as his mother speaks with the front desk. He appears restless but unharmed. Then the trail goes cold. His mother is later seen alone at a dollar store, purchasing items she would use to end her life. Timothy is nowhere in sight. She checks into a Rockford hotel one final time, carrying out her plan that night. Despite extensive searches, false alarms, and new leads over the years, Timothy has never been found. His fate remains a haunting mystery.
And we begin with breaking news this hour from Charlottesville. Police there are heading up the search for a missing University of Virginia student. Hannah Elizabeth Graham, seen here, was last heard from on Saturday when she texted friends around 1 o'clock in the morning. She is 18 years old, 5 feet 11 inches tall, with a slim build, blue eyes, light brown hair, and freckles. Anyone with information on the whereabouts of Hannah Graham is asked to call Crime Stoppers at 434-977-4.
The story of Hannah Graham is one marked by deep sadness and unanswered questions. On the night of September 13, 2014, 18-year-old British-American student Hannah Graham went missing. It was just the beginning of what would become a tragic and unsettling case. Hannah, who had been out with friends, last communicated with them at 1:20 a.m., telling one of them she was lost and trying to find her way. That was the final message anyone would receive from her. The events leading up to her disappearance remained unclear. The last known sighting of Hannah came from surveillance footage captured at a downtown mall in Charlottesville, Virginia, where she was seen walking with a man named Jesse Leroy Matthews, also known as LJ. Matthews, a 32-year-old man, was accompanied by another individual, though their identities remain unclear. As the footage showed, Hannah appeared to be heavily intoxicated, stumbling and nearly falling over multiple times. Witnesses confirmed that she was clearly under the influence, which was particularly concerning as she was underage and had likely been drinking. Earlier that evening, Hannah had been at McCrady's Irish Pub, just across the street from a Shell gas station. From there, she went to Sal's Cafe before heading to the mall where she was last seen on camera. Witnesses recalled her behavior as being somewhat unfriendly, with one describing her as angry or upset. One of the most haunting reports came from a witness who said they saw Hannah drunkenly leaning against a car that was later confirmed to be Matthews' orange 1998 Chrysler. In this moment, she was heard saying, "I'm not getting into that car with you," a chilling sign of her discomfort. When Hannah's friends and family realized she was missing, they immediately contacted authorities. The police quickly began piecing together the timeline of her movements, which involved reviewing security footage. A search effort was launched involving over 1,000 volunteers, but sadly, the search proved unsuccessful. Days later, on October 18, 2014, human remains were discovered on an abandoned property. 6 days after that, the remains were positively identified as belonging to Hannah. Through the investigation, it was revealed that Jesse Matthews was the last person seen with her. He was arrested and charged with capital murder, facing the potential of the death penalty. Further investigations uncovered his involvement in other cases of abduction and assault, linking him to at least 4 additional victims. Matthews' arrest and the eventual discovery of Hannah's remains brought some closure to her family. In 2006, a 19-year-old communications student, Jesse Ross, mysteriously disappeared under strange circumstances that have puzzled investigators and intrigued the public for years. His case has become a chilling example of how someone can seemingly vanish without a trace. Jesse was attending a Model United Nations event in Chicago, hosted at the Sheraton Hotel in the Towers. Over 200 students from across the globe had gathered for this prestigious event. At first, everything seemed to be going well for Jesse, a passionate and ambitious young man, until a dark turn took place that night. The event, which spanned 3 days, had a celebrity dance planned for the final evening. Around 10 p.m., Jesse had a few drinks at the event before attending an impromptu mock session. Around 2 p.m., Jesse told friends he needed a break, assuring them he would return shortly. His peers watched him leave the venue, but he was never seen again. Those who had gotten to know Jesse at the event recalled that while he had consumed alcohol, they didn't believe he was severely intoxicated. He was in good spirits, not showing any signs of distress or confusion. The last known footage of Jesse was captured by the hotel's surveillance cameras, where he appeared calm and composed. He didn't appear overly drunk or disoriented in the lobby or elevator footage, suggesting he was in control of his actions. When the alarm was raised and authorities got involved, they speculated that Jesse had stumbled out of the hotel and possibly fallen into the Chicago River, his judgment impaired by alcohol. However, this theory has significant flaws. Witnesses had already stated that Jesse wasn't drunk enough to make such a mistake. Additionally, Jesse's hotel was just a short 10-minute walk away, along a well-lit street with numerous security cameras. Strangely, not a single camera recorded Jesse in the area during this time. Given the volume of surveillance present, this absence is incredibly odd. Despite numerous efforts, Jesse's whereabouts remain unknown, and the last video footage of him stands as the only trace left of his disappearance. The case of Jessie Ross continues to baffle investigators, leaving many questions unanswered and theories still lingering in the shadows.
Jesse's disappearance as a missing persons case at this time.
Was there any blood on the TV, do you remember? Yeah, there was blood on the TV.
This is completely out of character. Kelsey loves her God, she loves her family and friends, and she loves
there
her
was blood on top of the coffee maker. There was blood.
In 2008, a mother, Kelsey, steps into a local store with her infant child. She moves through the aisles, carefully selecting items for the holiday meal she plans to share with her loved ones. She appears calm, unaware that this will be the last time anyone will see her alive. After picking up a few last-minute essentials, she leaves the store and vanishes without a trace. As the day passes with no word from Kelsey, concern grows among her family and friends. Calls go unanswered, messages remain unread. A day that was meant for gratitude and togetherness turns into one of fear and confusion. Her fiancé, Patrick, tells authorities that she briefly stopped at home after the shopping trip to drop off their child. Then she was gone. Hours stretch into an entire day, and still there is no sign of her. The worry deepens. Then an unsettling message arrives. Kelsey's employer receives a text from her phone stating that she will not be returning to work that week. But something feels off. The message is abrupt, out of character. It does little to ease the growing dread. Investigators track Kelsey's phone, and what they find is alarming. The last known signal pings from a small town more than 600 miles away. How did she get there? Who took her? The questions multiply as search efforts intensify. Days later, a press conference is held. Kelsey's mother stands before the cameras, her voice trembling as she pleads for her daughter's safe return. The absence of Patrick at the conference does not go unnoticed. Then, a shocking breakthrough. Patrick is arrested after a tip leads investigators to his property. The search is grueling, but finally a discovery is made. A small fragment of a tooth. It is sent for testing, and speculation runs wild. Is this the key to solving the mystery of Kelsey's disappearance? As the investigation unfolds, a woman steps forward, identifying herself as Patrick's girlfriend. What she tells the police is horrifying. Patrick, she claims, admitted to killing Kelsey. He provided gruesome details of how he did it. She also shares that he disposed of Kelsey's body in either a landfill or a river. Authorities comb through landfills, drag rivers, and cover miles of terrain, but Kelsey's remains are never found. Weeks turn into months, and eventually the search is called off. With no physical evidence linking Patrick to the crime, questions linger. What really happened to Kelsey? The truth remains uncertain. And all that is left is a haunting final image, a mother smiling as she shops for a holiday meal, never knowing the terrible fate that awaited her.